Hello everybody and welcome back to Final Fantasy. In the last episode we defeated the Merilith. Merilith is the name, not Carrie. And in between episodes I went back through the volcano and I got all the chests that I missed that I could find. Which I threw in at the beginning of this at double speed because that was kind of boring. Most of the rooms were empty on that final floor. Actually, all but one, I think, but I showed it anyways, just in case you were curious. And then that fourth floor, the floor right before it, is the only other floor I could find anything on. I went back to the ice cave as well, and did not find anything that I missed there either, so I didn't show anything there. And then I also went to Cornelia, Provoca, and the Elfheim town, and got Duck a few spells. If you notice, he can now use some spells, mostly just, well, only just white magic. And he doesn't have very much in the way of MP yet, so it's not really going to be very useful for him yet. But as we level up, we'll gain more and more. So, but this is probably all he'll ever be able to learn. I don't think he can ever learn level 4 through level 8 spells, so basically he's just here for extra support in case we need it. But yeah, I decided to meet you at Cornelia just because this was the last place I went. And now we have a sort of a choice on what we can do now. We have not really a choice, but there is a choice all the same. There's this continent up here to the right, and also the continent to the left. The left one is basically where we're supposed to go next. We'll have to go to this town here. We'll also have to go into this desert a little bit, and there's also a waterfall right here that we have to go into. And then on this continent there's this town down here, and this tower right here. We can't do anything with the tower, and we can't do anything with this town down here, but we can come up here. But if you there's the next dungeon, if you go like halfway through it, you can get something from the dungeon that's on this continent and then not finish it and then come over to this continent and do this one first. I'm not gonna do that, but you could. You'll understand more what I mean when we actually do it, and I'll point it out when we get there. But and then there's also the rest of these on the islands that I didn't show off. There's just a lot more dragons to talk to and a few chests, and I'll show that off too. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to... This is the tower I was talking about, by the way. We're going to stop over in that desert first. This is the desert I was talking about. I wonder if you could still do the trick. Probably not. I can't. There we go. That was awful. There was like a glitch, I guess, that would allow you to land on that desert in the original. But since it won't let us do that, we're gonna have to land here, I guess. And what we actually want to do, it's not on the map, but if you come over here, there's a caravan. If you went to a different, the town on the eastern continent, up at the top right of it, you would have found out that there is a ferry that is missing from the spring over there. And maybe someone kind of hints that there's a caravan in the desert, and then maybe someone hints that the caravan might be into, I don't know. The point is, the bottled ferry is over here and you need it. So we buy that, and it's all he has. Or at least it was all he had in the original, I think. Apparently now he has a bunch of temporary raising ability stuff. I guess that's cool. But that's all we needed from there. It's pretty expensive, but at this point we have a whole bunch of money. We'll still probably need more money though, because there's a lot of spells and stuff to buy. But what we actually want to do, I wonder if it's in key items. Bottle containing a fairy. Oh, I guess you can't do it. I thought, in the original, I think you had to use the bottled fairy in order for it to do what we needed it to do. But I guess this one will probably just let us do it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over to this town, and this is the town I was talking about. That would tell you where the fairy is, or at least that the fairy is missing, and this is Gaia. Oh, and apparently as you walk into Gaia, the fairy gets released. That's how it works in this game. In the original, I'm fairly certain you had to use it yourself, but it would have had the same effect. Interesting. There's a lot of new stuff here. New magics, new all that fun stuff. We're obviously going to get that. Break. I'll think about. I don't think I'll get it, but I'll think about it. We definitely want that. I don't think I'll need that. And there's also some armor and weapons over here. So let's see what they got. Ruby armlet. I'll buy 2 of those, I'm sure. Or do I need protect rings? What are the protect rings? Guard against instant death. That's pretty good. I'll look into what I want to buy there. I don't know if the protect ring is the same thing. Blah blah blah. I know what I'm trying to say. This guy only carries the cat's claw. I thought he had more than that in the original, but the cat claws was the only useful item he sold, I think. And I'll just buy that for our black mage, because that's what I always did. So let's give that to him real quick before I forget, because I would forget. And then if we come over here, there's the item shop straight up that path, but I'm more interested in the magic shops that are right over here. And this is the level 8 stuff. If you noticed, we passed the level like 6 or whatever. That's in the town to the western continent. And we'll be heading there shortly too, so don't worry. Stop. Banish foes and kill. All of those sound like they're not going to be very useful, but I'll look into it still. There is no all. Dispel, holy. It's always nice to have holy, I think. Just to give her an option of attacking. But yeah, there's all that stuff there. But the real reason we came here, there's the item shop. Let's see what this guy has to say. There was a scholar studying the Lufinian language, but I can't seem to recall his name. Huh. Probably not important then. This guy here is the one that took the fairy. Yeah, and that's basically how you find out where to find it. And then someone else in this town, I think, says there's a caravan in the desert on the western continent, or something like that. That was the Revivey guy building. But since we already did go get the fairy, if we come all the way back here to the spring, the fairy is actually here. I don't know why I'm not reading any of this, and I just skipped past that. I'm sorry. I'll get you some Oxyale from the bottom of the spring to make up for it, okay. Yeah. So, the reason that we had to get the fairy was in order to come here to get the Oxyale. And the Oxyale will allow us to go into the next dungeon. Air will flow out of the water for as long as you have it. So basically it means we can breathe underwater. That may not sound important to you unless you went into the actual town where that is going to be in fact useful. And I'm kind of lost. Oh, that's the trial place. Okay, I see. And this is the town we're going to now. The game probably wanted you to go to that town first, and we can't land on any of this marsh or anything, so we have to come all the way down here. But yeah, the game probably wanted you to come to this town first to find out that in order to progress, you needed a way to go underwater, and then you had to find clues on how to get underwater, and someone probably mentioned something about the spring to the on that continent over there, and then you go over there and find out that the ferry's missing, and then you have to go find the ferry. I just skipped all of that because that's not very interesting. But basically now we're going to the next dungeon, which is actually in this town. The entrance to it is in this town. And this is the town where with the magic that we seem to have skipped. So, I don't think there's really anything interesting here. There's a graveyard, but I don't think any of the stones say anything interesting. Here are the magic shops. And we'll probably buy this. And I don't know. And we'll also buy... Huh. Probably neither one of those, but we'll see. Interesting. And there's the inn over there, I think. There's a dragon down here. I don't remember even what he says. Oh. He might be your indication that you can class up. Like, if you come here before you class up, he's probably like, oh, did you know if you go to the thing, you can do the thing. Alright. Well, that guy just pretty much hinted at another thing we can do on this continent, which was at the waterfall. And that guy's just an old guy. But this is the person that you would talk to that says, oh, you need the Oxyale in order to continue. And now she's like, oh, you have it. Well, then, continue. And somehow floats over that way. And disappears. Interesting. And this takes us to the beginning of our next dungeon, which is underwater. Which is why we needed the Oxyale. I hope I don't have to watch this cutscene every time I go through here, because I'm probably going to go through here a few times. But, that's pretty cool. Nonetheless, I guess. And this takes us to the Shrunken Shrine. I have problems speaking, apparently, most of the time. The Sunken Shrine. And if you look, we're on the 3rd floor. On this floor, we have an option of either going downstairs or upstairs. And both directions will lead us to something important. Downstairs will lead us to the boss and the crystal, and upstairs will lead us to an important item for the next dungeon. Well, to progress through the game. And what I meant earlier by you could come halfway through this dungeon to go to the next dungeon is you could go upstairs to get the item that you need to progress in order to go to the next dungeon without going downstairs, because you'll still have to go back downstairs and then whatever, you know what I mean, I'm sure. But you could go upstairs, get the item, and leave this dungeon and not actually revive the crystal and then move on to the next dungeon. It is something you can do, and it's something I've done, but it's not something I'm going to do this time. But I am, however, going to end the episode here, and we will start here in the next episode, and we will start by going upstairs. So we will do all that next time. until then, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.